Now let's talk Dillon Gabriel. This is a guy that balled out at Oklahoma this year, I think. In terms of like college fantasy football, you probably loved drafting Dillon Gabriel for his rushing value as well. Uh, Not necessarily an NFL guy, I don't think, based on his size and arm strength, but he's a good quarterback. He processes well. He has real nice escapability there in the pocket. I think a lot of places would be lucky to have Dillon Gabriel. Now, why he's transferring? Is it because of Jeff Levy leaving? Is it because Jackson Arnold's pushing him? I don't know. I don't know why exactly he's leaving, but nonetheless, I think he's a pretty good player. So I don't know, man. I mean, he played some really, really good games this year. I mean, he beat Texas. Now the Kansas game, he didn't necessarily play all that well in, and they ended up losing that game. They probably should have won that game still, even without poor Dillon Gabriel played. Still should have won that game. I mean, Dillon Gabriel's a good player. He's a veteran. Like, you're gonna get 1 year of really good quarterback play from him, I think. So I think a lot of schools would like that a lot. I had a list of some names as well. I put USC on there just because I think they potentially might need a quarterback if they miss out on Cam Ward, if they miss out on some other of these quarterbacks. If they need a bridge year before they put in what's his name, Malachi Nelson, right?
Yep.
If they need a bridge quarterback there, I think he's a pretty good fit there as well. Mississippi State, of course, Jeff Lebby. I thought he could end up there following Jeff Levy's footsteps. I think that'd be a great pickup for Mississippi State. And then also put Ole Miss on there. I know Jackson Dart's returning for 1 more year, but I think Dillon Gabriel will be electric in that offense. But I think also Jackson Dart can do just about anything Dillon Gabriel can do as well. So I don't see that as like a super possibility, but just something to think about in terms of like fit. I put Oregon on there because they're in the market for a quarterback, right? If they miss out on Cam Ward, some of these other guys, I think that could be a spot. In Washington, of course, get another lefty McShefty in there. Dillon, that wide receiver room is still going to be really good, even without Odunze. So those are just 5 schools that I had. Did you have any other ideas?
No, those seem like the right 5. If you ask me, I think he's a really good player, and obviously the NFL upside isn't quite there, but it doesn't matter. Like, he's going to go for 1 year and be a super productive, win you a lot of games in college. I think I don't want to say he's scheme dependent, but he's been really with Jeff Lebby and his whole career there, right? So like, it's a very quarterback friendly system. I'm not going to knock on Dillon Gabriel, but I think it would benefit him if he does see the NFL as a possibility to go to a place like Oregon with Willie Stein, to go to a place like Lincoln Riley with go to a place like USC with Lincoln Riley, Kalen DeBoer, Washington. Any of the schools you mentioned would be perfect fits for him to expand his quarterback prowess and to show like, hey, it's not system quarterback. Hey, I can make all the throws. I can be a really, really productive backup quarterback for a team in the NFL because of my arm strength. A little limited, but I can see the field well. I can make diagnosis. I can check the runs, yada, yada, yada. And also, like, it's also his last chance to confirmed cash in on a paycheck. I mean, like, again, like, these are guys that are like 22 years old. Like, he wants to make money for sure, and he can do that for sure. So I wonder here if you have a team that nobody's really talking about that has a lot of NIL structure. I think of a team almost like SMU. I know they like Preston Stone. I know they like Jennings as well. But like, wouldn't that be a really interesting fit where they're moving the ACC and they have, hey, let's give a ton of our NIL bag to Dillon Gabriel and let's really, really compete for next year in the ACC. You know what I mean? And like, for him, maybe it's not about winning national championships, but it's about elevating a program, going there to build something with a coach and some players, but also like cashing in on a big time paycheck, which I cannot blame him for at all. And obviously succeeding at a place like, anywhere where he would go.
Yeah, I'll give you some under the radar. And again, we're not insiders at all, so we don't know exactly who they're talking to and whatnot. But I'll give you some under the radar ones. I want you to let me know how you think of them. Wisconsin,
yep.
And South Carolina.
Yes. No, I think South Carolina loves that true freshman quarterback. He'll be a redshirt freshman next year.
Yep.
After Spencer Rattler, but Washington is a team for sure in need of a quarterback. Wisconsin is for sure in a quarterback. And a guy like Phil Longo has had success with quarterbacks for sure. They're in the market for not really for Cam Ward, but like he's up there. Like they were in the top 7 or whatever it was, like that a graphic put out.
Let me
Don't
give you
really
one
believe that was
more.
ever
Let me give you
okay.
one more. And I think this would be an electric fit. Right. And I don't know why anyone's talking about it. It could be because they're in the market for a better quarterback. Auburn.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Him and Hugh Freeze would be fantastic together. Talk about a guy that doesn't need someone to actually scheme up shit for him. He can actually read a defense and execute an offense very, very well. That would be awesome. And Hugh Freeze does like to use his legs with his quarterbacks, and Dillon Gabriel's a guy that is shown to be very effective with his legs.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So any last thoughts on Dillon Gabriel?
No, I do want to mention
Is
why he's
Oklahoma
leaving.
is Oklahoma mad? Like,
They'll be fine. I think Jackson Arnold is legit. I think of
oh
any of the
yeah.
true freshman quarterbacks in that historic class, like he's the guy that, and all of their fan bases are just completely sold on it. Texas fans will lie to your face and tell you that Arch Manning is a stud, future first round pick, and he might be, but nothing he has done has really shown that like, oh, he's confirmed a stud. I think Jackson Arnold is confirmed going to be like a
Yeah.
Heisman favorite next year and going into year. Will he perform in year 2? He's still going to be young. There will be growing pains for sure. Don't get your expectations too high. But yeah, like you can only you can't keep 2 elite quarterbacks in college football unless you're Georgia or Lane Kiffin or whatever it is. Like it's hard to do that, right? Like at a place like Oklahoma, use your other NIL, use your other equity with other positions that you need to build. Jackson Arnold's the future there. If you're going to pick one versus the other, Jackson Arnold's the guy you're going to pick. It's unfortunate for Dillon Gabriel, but he sees an avenue where he can go and make in and cash out. I don't feel too bad for either side of these. I think it's a good split for both of them.
I agree.